From SF Land, this is Dorking Out, a podcast for people who love to dork out about movies, TV, and everything pop culture.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and whoever said orange was the new pink was seriously disturbed. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Well, hello, my friend. You stole my line. I was practicing all afternoon.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. I had so many different ones, too. Oh, damn. We should coordinate more. We are talking about 2001's Legally Blonde. I'm really excited for this one. I have such a soft spot for this movie. It's actually based on a book by Amanda Brown. Did you ever read the book?
No, I put it on the list for my other show, Book versus Movie, because we'll definitely have to do it one of these days.
I read maybe a quarter to a half of it for an episode of your Book versus Movie when I was doing like chick flicks based on books.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I didn't really super love the book, but I super love the movie. I think it's great. It's also the screenplay is written by Karen McCullough and Kirsten Smith, and they are a writing duo who also did previous episode 10 Things I Hate About You, and they also did
that's right.
Ella Enchanted, and they did The House Bunny.
Oh, wow, they're talented.
They're super talented. And this movie stars Reese Witherspoon, obviously, Luke Wilson, Selma Blair, Victor Garbo. Sorry. I'm only one cup of coffee in, you guys. Jennifer Coolidge, she's a national treasure. Allie Larder, Holland Taylor, also a national treasure.
I was just going to say, you stole my line again.
Sorry, I'm on a roll. And Linda Cardellini in a pretty small role. Did you see this movie in the theater?
I don't remember seeing it in a theater. I remember renting it.
I definitely saw it in the theater. I actually wrote a little thing about it, and I'll just kind of hit on the notes here because I actually saw it in the theater, and I thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, it's funny, whatever. And it honestly, it didn't mean that much to me. And then a few years later, I was going through a breakup, and it was like a hard breakup, but not hard like, oh, I hope I get him back. Like, not that kind of breakup. More like hard personally. Like, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough for anyone. You know, just really beating myself up. Like, what do I want out of my life? You know, maybe I want to be alone, blah, 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 all this stuff. And Legally Blonde always seemed to be on TV during that time. Like, always. So it was like Bravo, Comedy Central, USA, TNT, TBS. They were always showing Legally Blonde. And whenever I would start to feel kind of shitty, I would think, I wonder if Legally Blonde is on. And it was on every time. One of those stations had Legally Blonde. And I just fell in love with it. It was like the movie that I didn't know I needed, and I needed it. And it was never about like how she's trying to like land a man. I like that it's not about that. It's really about her like realizing her own worth outside of a relationship and that she's good enough, you know, and then I would take that and I'm like, you're good enough. And, you know, even though she ends up with Luke Wilson at the end, spoilers, you guys, it's just not what it's about. And I just love it for that. I love it so much.
It's just so cheery.
Yeah.
And optimistic. And Elle is just like this perfect little character. I mean, she's, of course, it's Reese Witherspoon. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We know that. But she's also very, very smart. And she doesn't try to hide her intelligence. And she always has good manners. But, you know, she sticks up for herself. I mean, she is something to aspire to. And I think she's so cute with the little doggy and everything like that. I'm just Bruiser.
Yeah, Bruiser. Everybody drink. She's adorable. She's so adorable.
Adorable.
And I love how much empathy she has for people. And I think you nail it when you say that she's super smart. She doesn't try to hide it, but she's also super feminine. And she kind of, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. She like makes a space for herself wherever she is that is so her.
Right.
I'm like, I super respect that about her. And there's something about I'm like, I should have took better notes. I think there's something in Legally Blonde that most women can relate to. So our female listeners are probably going to get this, and male listeners will be like, I didn't know this was a thing. And it's women are underestimated most
Yes.
in their life. Sometimes by men in their lives, sometimes by women in their lives. And that never happens. It happens the most in like our professional careers. So something like this movie where lawyers are predominant, they're men. That's true in real life. Like most lawyers are men. Women are in these situations where they're just constantly judged by their appearances. And, you know, maybe for some it's hard for them to have sympathy for someone who looks like Reese Witherspoon and she's super beautiful and be judged. But I think the point is that no matter what you look like and you're a woman, you are judged on your appearances. And there's always this like, you're less than, and you're less than intelligent, and you're not as deserving, you're not as professional, you're not. And
Right.
Legally Blonde deals with that, I think, in a really sweet way that I super love.
Yeah. Well, like also because you know, it's okay. It's hard being a woman in that you have to be perfect, and even when you're perfect, then that's used against you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like her good looks are used against her when it's like everybody in the world tells you need to be good looking in order to be considered a good human being, and that's like one of the highest achievements is to be a very pretty blonde, and she has that, but she also has her brains, and she's also a kind person who doesn't try to hurt anybody and is genuinely curious about the world and wants to help. And it's like people try to use right away. And it was other women who did the Selma Blair character tried to use Elle's, sunniness against her, but it didn't work. As like when she told her to dress up like a bunny, there's a costume party.
Yeah. By the way, that's like my nightmare. It's my nightmare that somebody that I would show up to like a party that's a costume party and I'm the only one that dressed up. Or I should rephrase that. It used to be my nightmare. Now I'd be like, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm dressed like a bunny. Who cares? But like,
yes.
But younger Sonia, that would have been my nightmare.
The nice thing about the movie is that, well, Selma Blair plays a woman who's engaged to Reese Witherspoon's former boyfriend. Reese Witherspoon thought she was going to marry this guy. They're living in California, and he says, no, I'm going to go to Harvard. I'm going to go to law school. I got to be a partner by the time I'm 30. You're not on that path. So I got to let you go. She's heartbroken, but she takes the LSATs, passes them.
Yeah.
And I love her video that she sends for her.
I wrote that down.
In a bikini. Oh my God.
It's so funny. And then it's later revealed. She's like, I got one of the Coppolas to direct my emissions video. It's like, just like this like funny thing, like where she's also underestimated by her parents. Like she, goes to talk to her parents and they say that her dad says like, law school's for people who are ugly and boring and serious, and you're none of those things. And like even her own parents are like, you're super beautiful, you don't need to do this. Like, or
the sorority sisters, they just want her to get married. They don't think about other things she want to do. I know. Yeah. But then I like the fact that in the movie they Selma Blair and her become friends. They become allies. Like she seeks her advice on how I can be noticed more, because like when they all get together, so they're in law school. Victor Garbers is their instructor, their professor. He also has a big case and needs students to help out. And he always, when they walk into the room, tells Selma Blair to go get the coffee. Right? It's always just assumed. And we've all, I don't know you, I've been that person
for sure.
And you just like, who's going to take the notes? Margo, take notes. What? Can you read my handwriting? No, thank you.
Yeah.
But
Take your own notes.
Assumed. Yeah. Take your own goddamn notes. It's just assumed, and they illustrate that beautifully without beating you over the head with it, and they still keep it funny and fun.
Yeah, they do. I also wanted to point out one more thing about her like admissions video. The line where she says, I am comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life, and then someone whistles at her like, woo woo, and she goes, I object. Is something that makes me laugh really hard. And anytime like somebody, it doesn't happen to me as often as it used to, but when you get like a cat call, I would say to my sister, I object. And her sorority sisters, they do all like want her just to get married and stuff. They really are like a bunch of ding dongs, but they are sweet and they are supportive. Like they're not mean. They're not mean girls. They mean well, but they are a bunch of ding dongs.
Yeah. One of them is from the Brady Bunch movie. Did you notice that?
Is it the one that helps her study for her test?
No, it's the other one. She has dark hair. She's like one of the few brunettes.
Okay.
And she's the one that has a crush on Marsha.
Oh, right. Oh my God, that movie's on our list too.
Yeah, I love that movie.
There is there's a couple of things in the movie where I was like, that's just creepy, but it's not. I think it's supposed to be creepy. Like there's kind of this like bunch of dirty old white men who basically decide to accept her to Harvard because they like her videos so much.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be that way. It's not an instance of this didn't age well. They're a bunch of dirty old white men who probably took her admissions video home for their personal collection because they're gross.
Yes. Yeah.
I also love where she runs into Warner at Harvard, and then he's like, "You're going to Harvard." She's like, "What? Like it's hard?" It's like one of my favorite lines. I'm gonna try not to quote the whole movie like we did for Real Genius, you guys, but and then things don't go well. She gets to Harvard and she stands out. She's beautiful and pink and blonde and sunny, and everyone there they are very serious. It's like, I have a PhD in this, and Stephen Hawking stole his ideas from my 4th grade paper, and all these things. And they all make fun of her. They call her like Malibu Barbie, and they're super rude to her. And so she goes to a nail salon to get her shit together and collect her thoughts, and that's when she meets Jennifer Coolidge, who's so good in this movie.
She's always so kooky.
Yeah.
But it's kooky in its own way. Like she has this unique kind of kookiness she adds to every single part that she does. And I like Best in Show.
Yes. I
like Soup.
We like talking and not talking.
She's great here. And she's what does she have? 3 tits?
Oh my God, it's one of my favorites. What's this Vivian got that you don't? 3 tits?
But that's like where she centers herself. She goes and gets a mani-pedi at the salon, and then she starts her friend. She helps her friend get her confidence. So she helps her friend get her dog back.
Yeah.
She split with the boyfriend, gets her dog back, and flirts with the UPS guy and teaches her the bend and snap.
The bend and snap. Have you ever done the bend and snap?
Not consciously, but yes. Of course I have.
Not consciously. Yeah, I do it all. That's how I met David. I love her friendship with Paulette, with Jennifer Coolidge's character. I think it's really sweet, and I think it's a good example of showing how much empathy Elle has for people. Like Paulette says at the beginning, like, I'm a high school dropout with stretch marks and a fat ass, and Elle doesn't judge her at all, doesn't look down on her, doesn't feel sorry for her, like, really likes her. Like, no matter what, she's young and rich and privileged, and she could be like, well, good luck with that, or feel sorry for her, but she really likes her, and she wants to help her and helps her get her dog back in a really great scene. I'm taking the dog, dumbass. I like their friendship so much. I like all the female friendships in this movie. They're really good.
They are. They all support each other. And so there's this case of a woman being accused of killing her husband.
Yeah.
And he was 30 years older than her. And so they're saying that she had a lover and that's why she did it. And it's Ali Larder.
Yeah.
That plays. And it turns out she's like a fitness queen.
Mm-hmm. And
that Elle has done her workouts forever. And she's like, when you exercise, you release endorphins. I don't think she would actually kill somebody. I just don't.
No,
but
when you have endorphins, you're happy. Happy people don't just kill their husbands.
Right.
Or what was it from Postcards from the Edge? Endorphins.
Yes.
Do you remember that? I'm in it for the endorphins.
Oh, Postcards from the Edge.
That's a good movie.
Such a good movie. So Allie Larder said that Allie Larder says that admits that she had liposuction, and that's how she was. So she wasn't. She could not have killed her husband, which Elle like freaks out when she hears that. But then we find out that the truth is that Linda Cardellini, she they give her this improbable wig, but they have her
this crazy like mountain of curls.
It's
like,
this insane perm.
Yes.
That she has, and that was always one thing about the movie. Like if they waited a few years, it would all be hair straightening, because that actually became the thing. But anyway, so that because she had her hair permed, you can't get it wet for 24 hours. Is that the
Yes.
My sister got a perm once. Oh my God, it was so bad.
Yeah, I got a perm too back in the 80s. It was a thing to do. It didn't go well for me, let me just say. Yeah. Regrets.
Regrets. We've had a few.
Yeah.
But Linda Cardellini's in this movie, but she's the one that killed him, or well, anyway,
yeah,
it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't really matter, but I love that the big reveal in the case is something to do with a perm, and that's how Elle is able to kind of put it all together. It plays to her strengths for sure.
Right. Well, because she was what was her fashion? What was her degree? She got her degree in.
It was like
fashion merchandising.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she went to law school with it.
Yeah, everybody at the school is like, I have a PhD in this, and I'm so like very serious people. And she's like, I was president of my sorority, and I have a degree in fashion merchandising. And they all look down on her, all of them, but she is really smart. And there's also this, so after she is invited to the party where she shows up as a bunny, and she looks great, by the way. She looks amazing. She looks amazing as a bunny. I would wear that every day if I looked like Reese Witherspoon. Trust me. And then like Warner says to her, like, you're not smart enough, sweetie. Like, he's so gross. He calls all the women in his like Pooh Bear. It's fucking gross. He's gross. And she says, like, I'm never going to be good enough for you, am I? And that's when she's like, I'm going to do this. And she goes and she buys like one of those orange like iMac books. Do you remember those?
I remember those.
I wanted one so bad. I wanted one. Yeah. And I noticed, I was like, did you notice in the classroom, everyone has a PC and she's got this like bright orange MacBook? And I just think it's a testament to how smart she is. Like, Macs are awesome. That's all I'm saying. And then
I don't have one.
You don't have a Mac?
I barely know how to use one either. I had to use it at my first job. We were an IBM family.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. My family is also like PC family, but I have a MacBook and I love my MacBook. Yeah, I shouldn't shame people for their computers. I take it back. All computers are great.
I've had them all. Compaq, Dell, you name it. I've had them all. Lenovo's the only one that's been good to me, but no, I wouldn't even know how to use a Mac computer really.
That's so funny. That's so I for some reason I thought you had a Mac too. That's a whole other conversation. Yeah. Welcome to our podcast where we talk about our laptops.
Tech talk.
Do you think Bruiser's like registered as an emotional support dog?
He should be. I want that dog every time I see this movie. I'm like, I have room for another dog. I can make room for a dog.
He's little. He's so little. You don't even have to make room.
It became a thing, though. Like all these, like Paris Hilton and all those kind of girls, all of a sudden carried around little teacup dogs, and the problem was that they didn't take care of them.
No, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Bruiser's really, really cute. I love that she brings him everywhere. I assume he's a registered emotional support dog. I looked it up because I was curious. Bruiser's real name was Mooney, and Mooney lived to be 16.
That's the thing with those little dogs. They live a long time.
Yeah. He's a real cutie.
Oh.
I want one now. I technically have one. That's basically.
You have 2 dogs.
I know. One's huge though. One is huge. He's like Clifford. I don't think he's done growing. He's just getting bigger and bigger like every day. So we get like a really great montage scene. I love a montage of her like studying, but she's still herself, which I love. So she's like, she's on her elliptical and she's studying, or she's at the salon and she's studying. And I love that she's, I don't know, just doing the things that she still loves while studying. There's something about it that just makes me smile. And then after that, she helps Paulette get her dog back, which is super great. And then, so that's when and somewhere in there she meets Luke Wilson.
Yeah, he's a nice enough guy.
He's he's like the nicest person ever.
Yeah, he always plays the nicest. I mean, like in Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
he's Drew. Cameron Diaz's love interest. Cameron Diaz is like beating the shit out of people. He just turns and goes, "Isn't she great?"
She's great.
He's so cute. It's so funny because at one point he says, "What would I look like as a blonde?" Which is funny because his brother is Owen Wilson, who's a blonde stoner looking guy.
I really, really like Luke Wilson in this movie. I think he's like perfectly cast, because that part could have been so vanilla. He's so nice, and you can tell like he really likes her and respects her, not just because she's like a beautiful blonde, but he can see how smart she is.
He appreciates her.
Yeah, he appreciates her. That's a great way to say it. And I love that about him. And I think they actually have a very sweet relationship. It's not the typical relationship for this kind of movie, I think. Like this movie would have ended with like them like, well, I think it did. It actually, there was an original ending where they're like kissing on the courthouse steps after the big case is won and all this stuff. And the test audience was like, we want to know what happens to her. We really like her. And they didn't want that, which I think is really interesting. So they kind of tacked on this other ending where she gives a big commencement speech and, we did it. And they all throw their hats in the air and stuff. And then you find out like he's going to propose and all these things. It's very sweet. I think their relationship is very sweet.
Oh, absolutely. It's very cute.
And she starts bonding with Vivian. That's the Selma Blair character. I love Selma Blair.
I do too. And I think it just sucks. She has MS.
Yeah.
And but she's very brave about it. Like she posts his pictures on Instagram all the time. Like this is what I'm dealing with now,
Yeah. And she doesn't, I follow her on Instagram, and she doesn't like, it's not just beauty shots. Like she'll show you like, I'm struggling and this is what this looks like. And I think that's really brave. And she is one of those people that when she shows up in movies, I'm like, oh, sweet, Selma Blair's in this. Like she's one of those people who's always really, really good. Like Cruel Intentions has been on our list for a while, but it's not available for streaming. And she's really good in that. And then she's just one of those people that shows up. Did you ever see, a lot of people don't like this movie, but I quite liked it, called The Sweetest Thing.
Oh, God, no. I hate that movie.
See, I know. I'm a weirdo. I'm like, how come I like this movie and everyone hates it? Maybe we should talk about it someday. But I think she's really funny in it. Maybe it's because I like Christina Applegate so much.
I mean, I like her. I love Cameron Diaz. I'm always on board for her, but I just found it really bad writing.
Yeah, I could see that too. I should revisit it, but I don't know. There's something about it that made me laugh really hard. Oh. Maybe it's that song. There's like a song in the middle where they talk about the size of men's dicks. You're too big to fit in here. Too big to fit. Okay. That's a whole other thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. So I want to talk about the courtroom scene because there's like this whole thing about the character Ally Larder plays, Brooke, is clearly being like set up as like, she's being framed for the murder. And one of them is that she is supposedly having an affair with the pool boy, and she makes him wear this like tiny thong to clean the pool, and he's clearly gay, but for some reason it's not so obvious to everyone. And then Elle figures out that he's gay because he comments on her shoes. Don't tap your last season Pradas at me. But I want to talk about what Enrique chooses to wear to court. He's wearing like a sequined like shirt with like, I think, a Jesus on the back.
Oh my God. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember.
It's outrageous to me. It's like such a I mean, obviously Legally Blonde isn't going to be like realistic when it comes to its courtroom scenes. But like what he's wearing is so ridiculous. And then Luke Wilson, of course, cross-examines him and like does this whole like, you know, how long were you and Brooke having an affair? 3 months. And what's your boyfriend's name? Steve, you know, or whatever. And then it's just like, oh, it comes out. I think it's very well done. It's very funny.
Oh, I see it now. I'm looking at the picture of
Oh
it.
my God, it's so ridiculous. I'm like, what are you wearing? Like, oh, I'm going to court. I'm going to wear my nice sequin shirt with Jesus on the back. I don't know what he's wearing. So Elle is doing really well in the courtroom stuff. Like, she's really smart. She got Brooke's alibi, but she's not telling anybody because it's not her alibi to share. She has a really sweet scene with Vivian where they kind of commiserate about what it's like to be women working under Callahan, and he's like making them always like get his coffee and food and things like that. And she goes to see Callahan, and Callahan, that's Victor Garber's character, by the way, puts the moves on her. And Vivian sees it, but like assumes the worst instantly, is like, you're just sleeping your way to the top. And that scene is really sad. It's like no one Emmett believes her. Luke Wilson's character believes her. But everyone else, she just assumes that they won't believe her. And I'm like, that is still the same, sadly.
Yeah, I don't think much has changed since then.
Yeah. And then she runs to the nail salon and, says she's leaving and all this stuff. And then we get this great, like, awesome Holland Taylor, if you're going to let one stupid prick ruin your life, then you're not the girl I thought you were. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Holland Taylor.
Holland Taylor is such a treasure in everything she participates in. She makes it so much better. I always am happy when I see her.
Yes. She's rad. And I'm like, hey, it's the boss from Bosom Buddies. That's what she is.
Ruth.
She's Ruth. That's what she always is to me. But she is, once again, like one of those people that when she shows up, she's going to bring it. She's awesome. I love her. Is she still with Sarah Paulson?
Yeah, they're still together. I just saw her.
That's awesome.
She's in a Netflix show called Hollywood that just came out, and she has a major part in it.
Ooh. Did you watch it yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you like it? Okay.
It's not a must-see, but it's fun, trashy TV. Let's just say that.
I do love fun, trashy TV.
Fun, trashy TV is fun. I just wish the leads were a bit stronger. I think the supporting actors, it's like Patti LuPone, Holland Taylor, Dylan McDermott. It's like this murderer's row of really great character actors. And then you have these young people that are the stars of the movie, and they just don't have the chops yet, or they don't, they get eaten alive, I think, by the people around them.
Interesting. Okay.
That's just my opinion.
That's the one with it's Darren Criss, right?
Darren Criss, yes.
Yeah, I do like him. But
yeah, I like him too. He's from the Bay Area.
Yeah, he's a Bay Area guy. I loved him on Glee when I used to watch Glee. I bailed on it later, but when he showed up, I was like, hey, that guy's really got something. He's great. Anyway, welcome to our podcast about Darren Criss. So eventually, Brooke decides to fire Callahan because he's a creep, and she brings in Elle as her lawyer. And Elle shows up to court, and she's in this amazing pink suit dress that I would totally wear right now. I think it's adorable. Everybody drink. I wouldn't wear the heels with it, though. I would wear saddle shoes. And then we get the whole thing about the perm, which is hilarious. And she wins the big case. And it's like, yay! I love it when she wins. And everyone's like, oh my God, like, because it's such a surprise. Do you think Emmett and Elle are still together?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They love each other.
They love each other, and they have really great kids.
I bet they do. I really love this. This was like a big deal for Reese Witherspoon. Like before this, Reese Witherspoon had done Election, and Election's great. It's super great. And, she had done Pleasantville, which is great, and Cruel Intentions. But I think this is the one that like made her like a really big star.
It rests on her shoulders. If you don't like Elle, you're not going to like this movie. Like you have to find her always appealing, and she always is.
Yeah.
She's, just cute as a button. Oh my God. She's so cute.
I love her in this movie. I bought it on DVD and it came with Legally Blonde 2. And I saw Legally Blonde 2 in the theater because I love Elle Woods so much, and it didn't really do it for me. And even though I own it, I haven't revisited it.
No, and I know it did really well on Broadway for like a year or two, and I never went. I mean, I totally see how it can lend itself to a musical.
For sure. I could totally see that. And then Reese Witherspoon has been entertaining the idea of a Legally Blonde 3, and I'm like, I would totally watch it. I would still watch it, even though I didn't like 2.
Yeah.
I would still see it. Do you want to hear about some of the other people that were considered for Elle Woods? I think it's a fascinating list.
Absolutely.
Some of these, I'm like, yeah, of course these people were considered. Alicia Silverstone. Yeah.
Sure.
Of course. Charlize Theron. I'm like, she might have been able to pull it off, but I think Reese Witherspoon's perfect in this role. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yep.
Katherine Heigl. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would talk about this movie anymore if Katherine Heigl had been in it.
No, you're right.
Christina Applegate.
Yep.
And Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes. I think Reese is the best, though.
For sure. I love Christina Applegate. I think she could do anything. But I think you needed Reese Witherspoon in this movie. She's so great. I'm like, what else do we want to say about Legally Blonde? I'm going to go through my notes and make sure I hit everything.
There's a Margo.
There's a Margo in the movie?
Yeah, one of her friends, sort of her sorority friends. I get excited when I see a Margo. Raquel Welch is in the movie.
She looks great.
She looks amazing.
There's a scene where Elle is like questioning Linda Cardellini on the stand, and she says, one of my sorority sisters got a perm, but she didn't pull it off. She doesn't have your bone structure. Like, it's so sweet. It's like, I'm questioning you about a murder and you're super guilty and I'm going to prove it, but I'm also going to compliment you on your bone structure, which I think is very sweet. But they cut to Raquel Welch in that scene, and she takes it like a personal pride moment. Like, yes, my daughter does have beautiful bone structure. Going through all my notes. Warner is the biggest asshole. Can we talk about what a fucking asshole Warner is in this movie?
He's no prize. No, I mean, he's the actor who plays him is really good because you hate him.
Yeah. It's not his fault that we hate him. We're supposed to hate him. He's such a creep.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
I hate how he's just thinking of himself always, and like, just the things he says to her, like, you're not smart enough, sweetie. All of that stuff. I think it really clicked with me at the time because I had been dating someone who also was constantly like making me feel stupid. I think that's why.
No.
Yeah, I think that's why I clicked with it, because it was a guy who was constantly like making me feel like I was dumb or I wasn't deep, or something. That sort of thing. That kind of guy. It's like a real prick.
He's that guy that he's your Facebook friend and you'll post something like, "Oh my God, I totally love this song." And they'll just like write back something sarcastic. It's like if you dare to like something really popular, it's it's because you're not original or something.
Right.
Yeah. Like there's somebody on Twitter who's like, I can't stand it when I hear somebody say Landslide is their favorite Fleetwood Mac song. Like, literally listen to their music. Like, why are you shitting on somebody for liking Landslide? Like, go fuck yourself. Women don't,
I don't these are the kind of people
men that do that.
Oh my God, they drive me insane. I'm like, just fuck off.
Just fuck right off with your opinions, okay? Yeah.
It's the same thing like when you say like, I like the Beastie Boys or whatever, and if you're like, and my favorite is, Shake Your Rump. Yeah, Shake Your Rump, which by the way is my favorite. Then people are like, you don't really listen to the Beastie Boys. And it's like, no, I do, and I still really like that song. Fuck off.
Right.
I need to think of a better way to say fuck off that's not fuck off. I need to save fuck off for like special occasions or something. Anyway, I love this movie. Do you want to hear about some of the other movies that came out in 2001?
Yes, please.
Okay, so number 10 was Hannibal.
Oh God, it was that popular?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
Wow.
Hannibal made me feel nauseous when I saw it. Did you feel nauseous when you saw it? It made me feel sick.
Is that the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Is it? I'm trying to remember. All I remember is there's a thing where like Anthony Hopkins like cracks open like Ray Liotta's,
Ray Liotta's head?
Yeah, it's the fucking grossest thing I've ever
Oh,
seen.
oh, it's nasty. I gotta see that again.
Oh my God, it makes me want to puke. Number 9 was Planet of the Apes. That would be the like Tim Burton
The Tim Burton one?
Yeah.
Oh God, that movie's terrible.
It is terrible. It's really
God,
bad.
it's awful.
Yeah. Number 8 was Jurassic Park 3.
No.
Nope. Number 7 was The Mummy Returns.
Nope. I don't see the Mummy movies. No.
The first one was good with Brendan Fraser. I like that one. Number 6, speaking of bad movies, Pearl Harbor.
That is the worst movie.
It's so bad.
Oh my God.
We need to do
boring.
We need to do Pearl Harbor. That would be like the funnest episode ever. Number 5 was Ocean's 11.
That's a great movie.
I love Ocean's 11.
And it holds up. That movie totally holds up.
That movie is like, it's a joy.
Yeah.
It's like it's just so fun and easy, and everyone's so beautiful in it. I love that movie.
It goes right to the pleasure center of my brain.
Yeah.
That movie. It's amazing.
I love it. Number 4 was Shrek.
I love Shrek.
I have been thinking about showing Shrek to Calvin, but I haven't done it yet. I should do it.
Shrek is one of those things I like, and people are like, ugh, you like Shrek? Like you don't have any taste or something. I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's adorable. Come on.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Donkey.
I love Donkey. He's my favorite
Yeah.
part. Anyone who doesn't like Shrek, I'm sorry about your cold, dead heart.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Monsters, Inc.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's the one with Billy Crystal and John Goodman as the monsters. It's a Pixar movie.
Nope.
It was a favorite of Calvin's for a little while. It's adorable. I love that one.
Everybody drink.
Everybody drink. Number 2, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Love.
Yep.
Of course I do. I'm such a dork. And number 1 was the first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh my God, that was like 19 years ago.
Yeah.
Was that Chris Columbus who directed it?
Yeah.
Oh God, it looks like it was directed in the 70s. It's so cheap looking now.
I really do love the Harry Potter movies. I think they're
Me
really
too.
I think they're really great. The casting is like chef's kiss, like mwah, like all the supporting players are like really amazing actors, and then they were so smart about who they got for the kids, because they got better and better with like every movie. But the special effects in the first one, the visual effects, they do not hold up. It looks like a video game. It looks really bad.
It's almost like they didn't know what they had.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like rushing it in production because the book was popular.
Mm-hmm.
And so I still like it. I like all the Harry Potter, and I like the story, and I love I feel a lot of affection for all those actors.
Me too.
But yeah.
I read all the books too. Did you read? I assume you've read all the books. And
oh yeah, I have an autographed copy of one.
Oh my gosh, I'm really jealous.
I worked on a couple of her launches. Whenever they launched a new Harry Potter book, it was like midnight in New York at Barnes and Noble. Oh, they lost their goddamn minds. And a friend and I worked on a couple of the campaigns, and I have 2 books that are signed by her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's my bragging thing.
Yeah.
My bragging point.
Did you do all the movies for Book versus Movie?
We did. Which one did we do? It's the one where Harry's very angsty, and he yells a lot.
Oh, so like Half-Blood Prince?
Maybe it's Half-Blood Prince.
Deathly Hallows.
Geez, he's very emo, and Harry gets kicked out of the school, and I'm sorry, you guys. I'm like blanking on. The books are so long.
They're so long, and there's so many. It's hard to keep straight.
Yeah,
but they're good.
They're great.
Welcome to our Harry Potter podcast.
Do you want to hear about the top songs?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this is 2001. These are some of the top songs. Christina Aguilar, Aguilera, excuse me, Lady Marmalade.
I love that
Remember
song.
that? Yeah. Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On.
That song's dope.
Dope. Pink, Get the Party Started.
That song is like, I went to the gay pride parade that year, and that song was like every float. Every float in the gay pride parade had that song. I was like, it's that song again. Oh my God. Because it's that kind of song.
Mary J. Blige, Family Affair. That's my favorite song by Mary J. Blige. Destiny's Child, Independent Women.
That song is awesome.
Dope.
That's from Charlie's Angels.
Yep. And Gorillaz, Clint Eastwood.
I love Gorillaz. I almost said Gorillaz. I love Gorillaz. I saw them in concert. Forever ago. Would have been like 2009 or 2010, and I thought it was so interesting that they play the kind of the animated stuff in the back, because they have like these characters they've kind of created for themselves, and then they played on stage, but the animation was going on behind them with their character. It was really well done. They're great. Very entertaining. That's a good list. I need to update my playlists. What else are you dorking out about, Margo?
Well, something that our friend Kim from Detroit,
yes,
she mentioned to me was on Disney Plus. We don't talk about Disney Plus nearly enough. But they have a show called Prop Culture. And it's this guy that goes through all these Disney films, such as Mary Poppins, Tron, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They go and find the props for the movies. And then they talk to the actors that were in the movies. Like, they show them the props and they get the actors to talk about the movie. And it's like, they're like 30 minutes a piece.
Oh my gosh. Why haven't I watched this?
It's Disney has so much good stuff there on their content. Like, you could just stay there, not watch anything else. But I totally recommend. They're like 30 minutes a piece, like I said, and it's just a nice slice. I love Tron. I mean, my brothers were like obsessed with Tron when I was a kid, so I love that segment. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It just looks great. And Mary Poppins, when they have the original horses, from that carousel, and you see Mary's horse, which has been preserved, it's like it gives you the chills.
Aww.
Yeah,
I'm definitely putting that on my list. This is something I would like.
Yeah.
Good pick. I started watching Never Have I Ever.
Okay, so what is this about? I don't know what this is about.
It's like a teenage comedy produced by Mindy Kaling. And it's like a young Indian girl growing up in Sherman Oaks. It's set in modern times, and her father passed away, and she had like a psychosomatic like thing where like her legs stopped working, so she spent like 3 months in a wheelchair, and now she's walking again, and she's kind of trying to get people to forget that those things happened. So she's like, I'm gonna get a boyfriend and I'm gonna get popular. It's kind of that same trope you see in a lot of teenage comedies. It's like, I'm supposed to be having the best year of my life, that sort of thing, and I'm gonna be popular and get a boyfriend. But it handles it very differently. For some reason, it's narrated by John McEnroe that I haven't quite figured out. And it's John McEnroe playing himself as the voiceover. And it's because her dad liked John McEnroe, I guess. But I'm like, is there more to it than that? I guess not. I don't know. I've watched 2 episodes, and for some reason, it's narrated by John McEnroe. But he's doing a good job.
Okay.
I really like it. It's like, it's very diverse. It's very funny. It's very touching. There's definitely some touching things. I also feel like it's telling a story that we don't normally get. There aren't like a ton of situation comedies out there about young people of color.
No, that's great.
And I think it's really, I really like the first 2. I think I'll get through it pretty fast, actually. And it's, a very diverse show too. There's like, the romantic lead in it, or the boy she has a crush on, is Asian, and then like he has an adopted sister who has Down syndrome, and like I just like how inclusive it is. I think that's really great. I think we could use certainly more of that. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm gonna keep watching that. It's a good treadmill show.
Yes, Sonia's got a treadmill. I'm very jealous.
I'm so fancy with my treadmill.
I'm so jealous, you guys.
Real Housewives of New York is actually the real perfect treadmill show. Sonia, stop pretending that you watch Never Have I Ever on Netflix on the treadmill when you really watch The Real Housewives of New York. Because it's great. Did you watch any Star Wars movies on May the 4th?
You know what? I didn't, and I can't remember why.
I
I've seen them all now. I mean, I have seen the whole thing, but I forget what else I think I was watching Prop Culture on Disney.
Well,
to be honest with you, yeah.
That makes sense to me. I totally get it. I rewatched the original Star Wars A New Hope on Disney Plus. Damn it, you Disney Plus. And it always makes me happy. I just super love that movie. I wish it wasn't the special edition with the extra stuff. I hate that. I don't like the extra stuff, but
it's
that's
still
okay.
A perfect movie. I don't care.
Yeah, I just love those movies.
Yeah.
So I might continue and move right on to Empire Strikes Back, and I'm debating showing them to Calvin. He's 8. He might be ready. I mean, I saw him when I was that age, but Calvin's
I did too.
But Calvin's a very different kid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if he'll wrap his head around Darth Vader. He'll be like, what the fuck? He wouldn't say fuck, but or he might. He might. I don't know.
When you're not around, you never know. He has a potty mouth.
Yeah, I know. If he had a potty mouth, he comes by it rightly. It's not his fault. This was so fun. I'm glad we talked about Legally Blonde. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
They can find me at Brooklyn Fit Chick. That's for Twitter and Instagram. And my blog is brooklynfitchick.com.
And you can find both of us at What a Creep, where we talk about creeps. It's super fun. Right now, the episode that's out's about Elon Musk, who is making the news like every 5 seconds. So the episode's like instantly out of date. He's such an asshole. Anyway, we have a Patreon page. We have an adorable Everybody Drink new logo designed. It was fan art from Claude in Cloud on Instagram. It's really, really good. And listen to us there. You can find Dorking Out wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts, give us some stars. That would be rad. And you can find me at The Sonia Show on Twitter and thesoniashow.com, and sometimes on Facebook if I'm feeling feisty. Thanks for talking about Legally Blonde with me.
This was so much fun. It's just such a, I was telling you before we started recording, like it just always works. It's just a perfect little movie and it always works.
I think so too. Woo woo! I object.